Hey everybody, it's Cinephile Mike here, and it is day 4 of this season's award season reviews. And today I am here with a very special guest who is wanting to know, are you ready to become a legend? Groot and I are heading to outer space and counter Earth and nowhere. Groot, can I talk, please? Are we going to keep dancing as I try to do that? I'm trying to talk about your film, though. Am I going to go? Am I good? Are we finished? Okay, thank you. Much appreciated. Anyway, here we are with another box office sensation as part of the ever expanding MCU. Today, it's all about Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the final film in James Gunn's trilogy about the found family of Star Lord, Gamora, Nebula, Mantis, Drax, Kraglin, Cosmo, Rocket, and Groot. Also eligible for the HFPA's new cinematic and box office achievement category, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is sitting currently at $358,999,815 domestically, $486,559,962 internationally, for a grand total of $845,555,777, sitting at number 4 for the year, according to Box Office Mojo. Now, Volume 3 opens with the Guardians reestablishing their home base on Nowhere, having just purchased it from the collector and coming to terms with the aftermath of what we saw in Avengers Endgame. To say the team isn't functioning as normal would be an understatement. Alcohol, depression, and microaggression, those are only the start. And this is quickly ignored when Adam Warlock, the Sovereign's project from the end credit sequence of Volume 2, comes blasting in and attacks Rocket, leaving him hanging on for dear life. Our team now has to set out on a mission to save their friend and everything else that we are going to get to along the way. Now, throughout this whole journey, we will go in flashbacks to see Rocket and how he became to be the person he was, and also why he was targeted by Adam Warlock. Now, while this is a Marvel film and, the good guys ultimately win in the end, will this all be smooth sailing? Well, as always, I don't spoil. But we shall see how this goes. Now, normally in these reviews, the first thing I like to address traditionally are the performances, but unfortunately for me, there's nothing that really stands out in this. The actors always do a fine job in the respective roles they're in, and they have endeared themselves to us over the previous 5 films and holiday special that they appeared to. And yes, if you're checking your math, I do say 5. Volumes 1 and 2, Infinity War, Endgame, and I am including Thor, Love and Thunder, even though I feel they should have been in it more. I almost wonder if why we didn't get that Thor Guardians film, which we all wanted. Now, even though Gunn attempts to up the stakes here with everything surrounding Rocket, we quickly have to go into the action-packed expectations of a Marvel film. And while there are moments of depth, they never get fully explored because even with a runtime of 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that doesn't include the end credits, Gunn attempts to incorporate too many subplots into one film. And while, yes, they do all get resolved, some are very rapid and, not fully fleshed out before they have to go on to the next one. And this is a problem because I feel there were so many teases and so many plot lines that I know I wanted to see more. It unfortunately impacts the performances because where they could have been more grounded, they get a little shortchanged. And even thinking back to Volume 2, they set up such nice cliffhangers like the one with Adam Warlock, but I don't really feel that that was what we got in this. Though he is an antagonist, and I'm not spoiling that part, but, this film moved in a lot of different directions. However, what I do want to highlight, I have to compliment the action sequences. The stunt team that did this film, I truly hope received that nomination at the SAG Awards for Outstanding Action Performance by a Stunt Ensemble. I mean, of all the superhero films I've seen in the last few years, especially since Endgame and coming out of the pandemic, these action scenes were some of the best I've seen. And the visual effects team that put all of the worlds together did it exceptionally as well. Guy Williams and his team should see themselves get nominated again, just like they were for Volume 2. In fact, Volumes 1 and 2 were nominated for visual effects, so I feel that that's a safe bet nomination wise. However, unfortunately, outside of these sequences, the film is a little, unfortunately, just another misstep for Marvel, despite the box office returns for this film. I mean, the film, when they work, it's because they're focusing in on like one main plot and do it the proper justice in an amount of time. And just because a film can be 2 hours or more than 2 hours and you can make it, that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be made. I almost wonder if the plots that were covered in this film wouldn't have been better served in a variety of Disney Plus series. The holiday special that came out last year worked really well, kind of honing in on one story with the two Guardians and Kevin Bacon. For example, Rocket's backstory could have very easily been a series that we saw before getting into Volume 3. But I digress. Um, yeah, I don't want to spoil the plot elements in case there's anyone out there that hasn't seen Guardians 3. So I'm going to close there. Guardians of the Galaxy for me is only a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, in many ways, it did serve as a nice conclusion to the trilogy and it wrapped everything up. But again, I think it tried to do too much. I almost would have preferred Gunn to have a volume 4 and, wrap this cycle in a tetralogy or maybe even a pentalogy if they wanted to do 5 films. I would have happily seen that. But that's not the case. We know he has now moved on to DC. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 yet, you can catch it streaming on Disney Plus. And also a quick recommendation, if you haven't seen the holiday special, check it out before you watch this film to enjoy a few of the in-jokes that we have. All right. Well, that's it for day 4. I will see everyone tomorrow as we continue on this journey through season 2 of award season. If you like what you heard here, keep coming back every day for more. Please click to subscribe to the channel for all the award season goodness. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and compare reviews with me on Letterboxd. All links are available in the channel bio. All right, all. Until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new.